BodyFit.com recently rebranded a piece of their business, and I'm gonna break that down for you guys and give you my insight on what I think should happen next. For the first 18 years of BodyFit.com's existence, its growing, extensive, and now massive content library of articles and videos focused on training, nutrition, and supplementation was 100% free. Through that content library, it's not absurd to say that BodyFit.com has impacted millions of lives on some level by educating them during their health and fitness journeys. Then BodyFit.com All Access was launched, which essentially took all of the most media-rich, comprehensive training programs and put them behind a paywall, which was around about $10 or so a month, depending on the frequency of your billing cycle. And that infuriated two stakeholders. One, the customers and just visitors of the site that were maybe midstream in one of those training programs, and then all of a sudden they wake up the next day and it's behind a paywall and they can't complete their programs. Secondly was the supplement brands, most of which had paid for these comprehensive media-rich programs through their marketing spends over the last years. So they were no longer getting the exposure they expected from those training programs. Now, I totally understand both of those stakeholders being upset, but if you put yourself in BodyFit.com's shoes during that time frame, what other options did BodyFit.com have? BodyFit.com's revenue has been in a total free fall. Their long-term strategy to use free content to create organic search that brings tons of visitors to the site had been struggling over the years, and that created less conversions because there was less traffic, visitors to the site. BodyFit.com was struggling to create any level of stickiness to their business that would allow them to compete in the market today, especially considering that more retailers were offering similar merchandising, larger retail channels were offering similar merchandising. You had Amazon that was obviously the 800-pound gorilla in the room, and you also had sites, apps, social media personalities disseminating a lot of the information that BodyFit.com had that was extremely valuable. BodyFit.com needed a reset. And over the last 2 years, that's what BodyFit.com has kind of been going through. And BodyFit.com's reset was really focused in two areas: merchandising and content. On the merchandising side, you saw BodyFit.com cut about probably 2/3 of their vendors, their wholesale accounts, over these last couple of years. And that was needed based around just sales velocities and them needing to control costs and their cash flow and not having a bunch of inventory kind of spread out anymore. But recently you've seen them start to expand some of the offerings, expand into some more ancillary product categories to sports nutrition. You've also seen them start to advance some new partnerships with emerging brands. The difference in this merchandising strategy over prior years is that BodyFit.com is really leaning hard on their new curated marketplace strategy, which is mostly leveraging their still impressive site visitor kind of traffic that comes to their website and giving a chance some of these emerging product categories, innovative product categories, new brands, a chance, but leaning on consignment. They can limit their free cash flow exposure, and then also leaning on exclusive contracts with some of these brands, and that would create some level of differentiation. Now, on the content side, the bulk of the articles and videos were still free on BodyFit.com. They kind of continued with that strategy. The all access program, the paywall that they created, was just kind of out there, and they were promoting it in different ways, and it actually created a small profit in Q1 of 2019. BodyFit.com didn't do too much to further rock the boat with what happened around the all access announcement in November of 2017. That was until last week. BodyFit.com rebranded their all access to BodyFit. And along with that rebrand came some additional changes. BodyFit offers 2 levels now and a number of other pricing discount structures based around the billing cycle. As you can see from the chart, Elite is essentially the same program as All Access. I don't really see too much material differences between those programs from what was announced before, but there is now another paywall for customers, visitors that will have to pay for 2,500 plus expert workouts and 3,500 plus how-to exercise videos. What that essentially means for bodybuilding.com is that they decided to further monetize their content directly and force visitors or customers to pay up for that content or make the decision to kind of source, self-direct that content through all the other disseminated ways. So it begs the question, like, why did bodybuilding.com do that now? Why didn't they do that before? What makes bodybuilding.com feel confident that they can do that today? I think the first element that bodybuilding.com is really leaning on is the idea of convenience and how big of a role that plays in consumers' minds today. They realized that the totality of the assets that they have would be very hard to replicate as a self-directed person, finding it through a bunch of different sources. There is a cost that goes into that, an opportunity cost that you could be doing something else. And bodybuilding.com figured that they could charge a small nominal number for that, and consumers would be interested in it because it's kind of their ability to buy back some time. Secondly, and I'm assuming this one, but I'm almost 100% sure that this is probably an element of it, is around personalization, having the elements of curation and having a very personalized experience for people that would be interested in this lower level of BodyFit. So they were able to kind of add some elements of artificial intelligence, machine learning to help cut down the noise and help members find what would be best for them on their health and fitness journeys quicker. So kind of another element of convenience, just in the way they're probably cataloging this and everything, but taking this to another level and truly personalizing the experience based around the individual's kind of behaviors, purchases, maybe some elements of customer data that they have based around the customer profile. So both a added layer of technology and also just some time in terms of like convenience, the trend of convenience kind of picking up steam and seeing that consumers are willing to pay for that. Both of those had kind of resulted in bodybuilding.com seeing that some of the less valuable content that they continue to offer for free then became valuable if they were able to repurpose it with enhancing it, kind of repackaging it and repositioning it within kind of the 2020 digital media commerce trends. So this is one step further. Bodybuilding.com is taking one step further to create a level of stickiness on their site with their content, because content revenue is not going to be the answer for bodybuilding.com unless they go kind of all in on that. And I'll explore that a little bit later in the video, but they need to connect content with commerce to create a very kind of sticky experience for customers. They have kind of higher switching costs on e-commerce and creates a better ability for bodybuilding.com to compete long-term on some unique differentiation points that other competitors currently are not necessarily offering. There'll be a number of different steps for bodybuilding.com to do this. I'm just going to kind of talk about one very easy one and one kind of more difficult one. The first easy one that I'm talking about here is to really ramp up private label. I think that is the answer that all retailers are kind of looking at right now, and it's the easiest one to kind of do, because if you're creating private labels, especially great private labels, people are less willing to switch because they can't get that somewhere else. So I would say right now, bodybuilding.com really needs to gate those private labels, really not offer those anywhere else other than bodybuilding.com, not even on Amazon. And bodybuilding.com has had a pretty good private label business for a while. They kind of ended it for a little bit, and now it's growing again. They're starting to offer some new products. And I think that this has a ton of runway for them in terms of revenue growth. They have the data, they have the purchasing data, they have the customer data that would really make for effective products. They can offer those at great prices because they still do have a good amount of scale. And these will be, great products that customers want. They should have absolutely no excuse not to grow their private label business over the next couple of years. Now, more of the hardest one around kind of like personalized shopping experiences. So yes, they do have, more merchandising, a curated marketplace strategy that's helping, they continue to have low and competitive pricing using kind of promotions and sales, and that's great. But those two things alone don't necessarily help them compete against somebody like Amazon that has better pricing or could have better pricing than anybody on the market if they really wanted to, and they have more merchandising. BodyFit.com needs to kind of bundle all this together and create a kind of ecosystem that BodyFit.com can help individual customers find an extremely personalized path that gets them to a higher probability of success of their fitness and health goals. Do that in the most connected way that is also just frictionless, or as frictionless as I guess as you can. Maybe people are kind of confused around BodyFit.com's performance and saying, well, this is just dying retail name, throw it away. Why do we have to worry about this? I still think BodyFit.com has a lot of valuable assets. The first one is they still have a lot of domestic brand equity. Like I talked about before, millions of people have been affected positively by BodyFit.com over the years. That doesn't necessarily go away. It might subside a little bit, it might need to be reinvigorated, but it doesn't go away completely. BodyFit.com has millions and millions of transactions, millions and millions and millions of visitors. They have a ton of customer data at their fingertips to help them with content, help them with commerce, help them with creating private labels. Talked about private labels. I still think they have all the knowledge of their customers, supplement buyers as a whole, especially in a digital sense. They have all the partnerships and relationships they need to create any product that they could think about on a product dev map. They have a media division, BodyFit, that has access to tons of valuable relationships with fitness celebrities, both past and present. They have a ton of relationships with supplement brands that could all be combined in a way to create a very unique media division. But they're going to need to rebuild all of those relationships. They're going to have to start fresh. They have to rebuild this flywheel that shows that both the personalities can have a bunch of elevated influence by being a part of BodyFit.com, also show them the way to make money in the fitness industry, have those mechanisms available. BodyFit.com should be the place for fitness celebrities, personalities to make money. And then supplement brands need to understand that there is a value in being a partner with BodyFit.com again. And then the final one that I want to talk about is one that I think a lot of people have written off a long time ago, and this is BodySpace. This is their social media platform. I know that this is probably going to take a lot of work, and maybe the resources within BodyFit.com is not enough to make it happen. But I think a social media platform around goal-oriented subject matter like health and fitness, where people can create a community and they can share things openly and everybody's going to be able to help each other. And if you can pair that with everything together, what I talked about earlier, I think it is a very compelling asset that's still out there. It's not maybe all that compelling by itself, but it is within a bigger flywheel system. BodyFit.com has the pieces, I think, to transform themselves. But it's likely that they're going to need resources, outside resources from the cash flow that they create. That maybe needs to come from the Expedia Group, or maybe even Barry Diller and some of his other companies like IAC, to speed this up and actually let them get back in the game. They're not going to be able to get back in the game if they're going to continue to kind of work on this within themselves. And talking about needed resources and going all in on content that I mentioned earlier in the video, if they want to make a run at this being a very material part of their revenue, they're going to need to kind of transform where they are today. Currently, my view on the All Access, or now BodyFit, is that they do have these large, media-rich, comprehensive plans, but they're static. Good, but also has its limitations. I think the library overall is good. I wouldn't consider it great comparable to substitutes. I don't necessarily think they have enough of new content, new compelling content that is going to limit churn long term. And overall, I think the content's just too general. I think it's very much geared towards a specific customer set, and that might not be the best path for creating content revenue or creating a media division that's going to be able to produce a meaningful amount of revenue. So in the future, what I would kind of shift this to, and obviously it's going to take a lot of help from, like I said, Barry Diller, and maybe IAC, Expedia Group, whatever. It needs to be infused with resources and capital. They need to build more niche on-demand content to appeal to all the different fragments and personal reasons why somebody is struggling maybe with their fitness and health goals. They need to start introducing live content. Should be no reason why they don't have a Peloton-esque type of live content arm. And they should try their best to turn a very good library into a very great one through consistently adding new layers of technology to really personalize it in a way that would be valuable to BodyFit subscribers. So here's my kind of crazy playbook that BodyFit.com could consider. This would take everything up about 1,000x. It is not easy. It's probably a little bit absurd, the simplicity in which I'm going to present this to them, but just kind of an idea here in terms of where I'm thinking. Maybe I get some kind of ideas going. First plan of action is that Expedia Group sells the asset to another Barry Diller owned company, Interactive Corporation, IAC. IAC combines BodyFit.com with a few other businesses within their portfolio. I think they lean on Vimeo, which isn't necessarily something that I would put in the group here. They're really going to need to pair BodyFit.com with Daily Burn, which does create a ton of fitness workout content, live content. So this is a perfect plug and play within a bigger group. They also have another kind of more general health and wellness website, informational website that has a bunch of different other like fragmented targeted arms called Very Well. And I would kind of combine this all into a very big group, share resources, share ideas, make this into something that is similar to like their match group. And then outside of that, I would start to forge a bunch of like strategic partnerships outside of things I talked about before with re-engaging some of their core base of fitness personalities and brands. I'm talking kind of moving outside of those areas and creating partnerships with this newly formed IAC group to be kind of like the connected fitness, value added content arm to some of the gyms that now are needing to compete against connected fitness pieces of equipment, companies like Peloton, or going to some of these equipment manufacturers that maybe still have only analog equipment and kind of forging some partnerships there. If they want to really get crazy and Barry Diller has some money to spend, maybe he waits and purchases a competing connected fitness equipment companies that could have a good price tag on them. Would love for you guys to give me a little bit of your thoughts around this recent change at BodyFit.com. Comment down below or any of the posts that I share about this video on my social media.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to help support me, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button on this video. If this is the first time you've been introduced to my videos, would love for you guys to be a part of my community by subscribing to my channel. I upload several videos just like this weekly. And if you guys want to connect further outside of this platform, I do include all of my social media links down below. I just want to thank you guys again for your time. Hopefully I gave you some value in return, and we'll see you guys on the next video.